Carlotta. "Your winnings," she said. "Do you want me to keep them safe for you?" He laughed. "Yes, my dear, keep them safe. Buy yourself a bauble or some such." Her well-groomed eyebrows went up. Until a moment ago, when visions of Sophie Noirot sashayed into his mind, he'd assumed what Carlotta had assumed, that he'd soon disappear with her into her bedroom. She was supposed to be in Lord Gorrel's keeping, but he, while rich enough, wasn't quite lively enough to keep Carlotta fully amused. Dependent on an allowance and gambling winnings, Longmore probably wasn't rich enough, but while he didn't doubt he possessed the necessary stamina and inventiveness to hold her interest, it occurred to him now that she wasn't likely to hold his for more than 5 minutes. Even by his careless standards, that hardly justified a large financial investment and the subsequent tedium of listening to his father rant about overspent allowances. In other words, Longmore was tired of her already. Not too long after abandoning his winnings, he took his leave, along with 2 of his friends and 2 of Carlotta's maids of honour. They found a hackney and, after a short discussion, set out for a gaming hell with a very bad reputation in the neighbourhood of St. James's. There Longmore could count on a brawl. Bored with the conversation inside the coach, he turned to gaze out of the window at the passing scene. The sun rose early at this time of year, and though the window was dirty, he could see well enough. A drably dressed female carrying a shabby basket was hurrying along the street. Her pace and dress, along with the basket, made it clear she wasn't one of London's numerous street-walkers, but an ordinary female on her way to work, at about the time her betters in the beau monde were going home from their parties. She moved at a fast clip, but it wasn't fast enough. A figure darted out of an alley, grabbed her basket, and knocked her into the street. Longmore stood, put down the window, opened the carriage door, and jumped out of the moving carriage, deaf to his companion's shrieks and shouts. After the first stumble, he quickly gained his balance and charged after the thief. His prey was fast, darting this way and that. At a busier time of day he would have soon shed any pursuer. But the hour was early, and hardly anybody stood in Longmore's way. He wasn't thinking, only running in a blind fury. When the fellow sprang into a narrow court, Longmore never thought of ambush or danger. Not that he'd care, had he thought about it. The fellow was making for a door, and it opened a crack, its inhabitants expecting him, no doubt. Longmore got to him first. He grabbed the thief and dragged him backward. The door banged shut. Longmore slammed him against the nearest wall. The man instantly crumpled and slid to the ground, dropping the basket. Though he couldn't be much damaged, these villains didn't break easily. He stayed where he was, eyes closed. "I shouldn't get up again in a hurry if I were you," Longmore said. "Filthy coward! Attacking women!" Longmore collected the basket and cast a glance round the court. With any luck, dangerous accomplices would hurry to their friend's rescue. But no luck. The area was quiet, though Longmore was well aware he was being watched. He sauntered out into Piccadilly. He found the girl minutes later. She stood slumped against a shop front, weeping. "Never mind the bawling," he said. "Here's your precious goods." He fished some coins from a pocket and thrust those and the shabby basket into her hands. "What in blazes was in your mind, rushing on blindly without minding your surroundings?" "Work," she said. "I had to get to work, your lordship." He didn't ask how she knew he was a lord. Everybody knew the Earl of Longmore. "Thieves and drunken aristocrats roaming the streets looking for trouble, and you without a weapon," he said. "What's wrong with women these days?" "I don't know." She was shaking like a leaf. She was bruised and dirty from her fall in the street. She was lucky that none of the scores of drunken louts on their way home from their debauches had run her over. "Come with me," he said. Whether too shaken to think, or simply intimidated, he often had that.